Alright guys, I finally got it. So, after calling a lot of shops in Southern California, I couldn't find anybody who was open on Saturday that had this part. So I ordered it through O'Reilly's, as you guys saw in the last video, and they just sent the drive shaft, but not the coupler piece to it. So Pat hooked me up with the SKU number, or like the number that's in every database ever, and AutoZone was able to locate one and they ordered it, and I just picked it up. So now we get to put the oil pan and the bottom half of this motor back together finally. So I'm gonna get on that. Now it's time to get down and dirty. Hands are somewhat clean. Not anymore after I start messing with this. I need to pull this back off and find the torque specs for that, and I'm gonna throw that in real quick. Alright, so I just prepped the surface of the block by wiping it down with some acetone to try and get as much oil off as we can. Using gray RTV because it is the most oil resistant. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of get a thin layer over everything to make sure it's got a really good seal. Let's get this out of the way. And yeah, then we can lay our gasket down there, make sure we get as much stuff in these little corners here as possible, because that's where they tend to leak the most when you first put it on. So okay, so now that that's all prepped, you can go ahead and set the oil pan gasket on the block.
Okay, so that's on there.
Alright, so I know that's going to take forever, but I'm just going to get the oil pan bolts, all these in and tightened down and all torqued to spec and blah blah blah. So the camera battery is about to die, so while I'm doing that, I will throw my camera battery on the charger, and I will see you guys when I'm all done with the oil pan. Welcome back, guys. So today is finally the day we are going to get the motor set back in the El Camino. The oil pan gasket has had plenty of time to dry. It's fairly dry. I mean, it's really dry. It's all the way dry. So I'm gonna flip this back over, get it bolted to the forklift so I can put the flex plate back on and drop it in. So let's get to it. Some Marilyn Manson playing in the background. And yeah. Okay, just a tip. If you're ever gonna flip one of these motors on an engine stand, get someone to help you, because that was a nightmare. That thing doesn't do anything. As you can see, it's bent a little. Oh shit, that was hard. Alright, so we got the motor off the engine stand and got the flex plate all bolted up. Not a flywheel. Flex plates are for automatic transmissions. Everyone gets that mixed up. Kind of got some things out of the way. The only thing I think is going to be an issue is these oil transmission cooler line deals. But found a bolt for the motor mount. Slides right in. So rather than getting a new one, got this bad boy. So I think now it's time to lower it in. This might be a little time consuming because I am by myself. But people do it all the time, so I'll figure it out. Alright guys, so the motor's back in. I just gotta play around with it a little bit, try and get the motor mount bolts lined up. They look to be fairly close. The saddles are on the motor mount, so that's good. Of course, every time I do a time lapse, my camera battery is gonna die, so I'm just gonna try and get little things here and there done while I charge my camera. Sorry if that wasn't pointing at me. I'm bad with the camera pointing at me, especially with this little mount. I don't have my stick on there right now. The stick's right here. But so while my camera's charging, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the motor bolts in, try and get some of the transmission bolts in, and hopefully the bolt the flex plate to the torque converter. So I'm gonna try and get that done while I'm charging you guys. So we'll see you in a minute. More like 5 or 6 seconds, so.
Easy.
So the motor's in, and my $12 light is going down, down.
Yes, sir. Got that Ford Blue and a Chevy.
So the motor's in. I got 2 bolts in the trans, but it's lined up. Everything's lined up. The motor mount bolts are in. They're not tight, but they're in, and it's set in there. I think really I might hook some things up here and there, but I think that's all I'm really gonna do today. I'm fucking tired, freaking tired.
Keep it PG here.
Shout out to Chris and Alex.
Gotta keep it PG.
Shout out to Chris and Alex for coming to help a guy out. It was a nightmare.
You did all the work.
Well, whatever.
We just stood here like idiots.
Yeah, we gave you entertainment.
But I think that's it for the night, so we will see you guys another day. Just real quick, guys, I wanted to give another shout out to my buddy Chris and Alex. Their Instagrams will be in the description below. They helped me out a lot with getting everything lined up to get the trans bolted to the motor. So please give them a follow. They were a lot of help. And you guys be sure to subscribe to the channel. Maybe show some of your buddies. We're trying to grow here. I know it's kind of slow right now. Very little bit of views on the videos, but anything helps. If we get up there and start getting quite a bit more views, then obviously merchandise and all that kind of stuff will come out soon too. So you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.